Have you ever wanted to increase your performance in the things that you do in your daily life? Imagine you and your friend are on the school's basketball team. You both want to increase your performance in basketball by being on the starting five. Your friend found out from other students that you can take this special drug to enhance your performance. Even though you and your friend both know that your school does random drug testing for student athletes, do you take your chances? The next day your friend offers you the drug. Do you risk it or do you turn her down? Through this speech you're going to hear about drug abuse a lot. Drugs are illegal and they should not be taken in any sort of way. Drug tests should be mandatory for all student athletes because their brain is still developing. It would be an early intervention for those who do not pass the test, and it will prevent short and long-term effects. Drug abuse is resulting different performances in student athletes, which makes it not fair for them, their team, their coach, and their community. According to the Science of Addiction from the National Institute of Drug Abuse, drugs are chemicals that affect the brain by tapping into a communication system and interfering with the way the neurons normally send, receive, and process information. When taking drugs, it can release 2 to 10 times more than the amount of dopamine that natural rewards such as eating and sex do. Chronic exposure to drugs disrupts the way how the brain structures interact with each other to control behaviors. Drug abuse can lead to many short and long-term effects. Different types of drugs can affect the way how you sleep, give you memory loss, constipation, and nausea. Here is an example of a list of drugs and what they can do to your body. The drugs listed here are heroin, meth, cocaine, steroids, marijuana, hallucinogens, and ecstasy. As you can see, almost all these drugs affect the heart, liver, kidney, stomach, small intestine, brain, lungs, skin, hair, pancreas, and large intestine. According to the article called Drug Abuse Effects, there was a report done in 2000 by the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. Drugs kill more than alcohol does, even though 7 times more people use alcohol than drugs do. Obviously, drug abuse is a serious problem. Drug abuse will not only make people become addicted, but it will give them horrible effects. We now know that drug abuse is really important. In order to prevent drug abuse, student athletes should take mandatory drug testing, and this will help eliminate this problem. Drug testing will provide an early detention for those who use drugs. And here's an example of a high school and what they do to their students if they got a positive on their drug testing. 89% would be provided with counseling and treatment. 53% would be banned for the remainder of the season. 46% would be prevented from the individual win or award. 32% would be banned for all sports for the rest of the year. 19% would be forfeited from the team win or the team award. Drug testing will help protect the safety and the health for all students. This will help the ability of developing appropriate life skills such as problem solving, interacting with others, stress management, conflict resolution, and student goal setting would be enhanced. Athletic and academic performance will not be hindered. Mandatory drug testing will lead to positive outcomes to everybody. Think about all the wonderful things that this will do. It will not only help make students become pure, but it will help the community out by ensuring that people are staying safe and healthy. Student athletes will become better role models. With staying pure and honest about drugs, many students will become more positive in life. Younger students tend to look up to those who are older, and they'll do whatever their peers like to do. For example, if a student athlete is taking drugs, younger kids will want to start taking drugs as well. Drug testing will help show how committed students are to their work. According to the Sun Devil Athletics Manual from Arizona State University, drug testing will help students be able to educate other student athletes on physical, psychological, social, and legal consequences of substance abuse. People who show negative in drug testing tend to perform better in both athletic and academic performances, and they tend to have a brighter future. The smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step in your life. Drug testing will help students become better and more successful in the future. Not every school demands on drug testing, and here is an example of what schools do drug testing and what schools do not. As you can see, only 20% of schools have drug testing for student athletes, and 64% of schools do not have any sort of drug testing. This shows that schools do not take an effect about drug abuse, and it's up to you to make this go away. People need to stand up and show how important drug abuse really is, especially for student athletes. So the next time when you vote, vote yes for mandatory drug testing for student athletes. Drugs for student athletes have been more common lately. People do not realize the consequences behind this. This is why students should be informed and tested for drugs. With mandatory drug testing, this will help eliminate the usage, and it will help people become better role models in the future. Drug abuse is all over the world. Our future athletes need to be in a drug-free zone. Remember that scenario from the beginning of this topic with the 2 girls on the basketball team? Now answer my question. Will you take this drug?